Wealthy and healthy rising. All praise due to the Most High. Point blank, period. I want to talk about forgiveness. And I want to talk about it in a different sense, or maybe you've heard it in this sense before. But for me, most times when I hear people speak of forgiveness, it comes off more as self serving. Like, forgive that person, let it go so that you can feel better and that you can move on with your life. But when you get older and you learn how to truly forgive, you recognize that forgiving comes with a certain level of humility and understanding. You understand that if a person knew better, they would do better. So no matter what they did, there's a part of you that's like, life is a humbling experience. And I'm not talking about humbling ourselves when we get our accolades and scream it to the rooftop, you know? Do that. You don't have to humble yourself for that. Only time you need to humble yourself in a situation like that is if you're doing it to make another person feel bad. Other than that, shout your accolades to the rooftop. You lost 50 pounds, shout it to the rooftop. If you ain't trying to necessarily make anybody else feel bad about it, then so be it. Just don't rub it in anybody's face. It comes with a certain level of humility. I'm not talking about that kind of humility though. I'm talking about being humble with knowledge. Don't be humble with your accolades unless you're trying to rub it in somebody's face. Like I say, you be humble with your knowledge. A few days ago, and this is why I'm speaking on this, I walked out, not my house door, but the door that leads to outside. I was on my way to work. And a knowing just came over me. It's like the Lord just spoke to me and told me that He forgave me. And not that He just forgave me, but He forgives everybody. And explained to me how when He wakes us up for another day to live, that's forgiveness for all of us. Whatever we did the days before, it's a chance that we don't do those things again and that we repent and that we apologize. We have another day to make it better. Whatever we said, whatever we did, whatever we don't like about ourselves, any character flaws and any things that we have done to others, it's another day to correct it. It's like when you wake up in the morning, it's just God loving you, giving you unconditional love and telling you, I forgive you. You can correct that. And you know how many times we don't acknowledge that? The mercy of the Most High, I'm waking you up every day. Every day there's a chance. And we sit around, sometimes we blame God for things. God, why you didn't this and why you didn't that? And I still feel like this. Well, we sitting here getting another day to correct everything through forgiveness. I remember a professor said to me, her name was Professor Christian. Shout out to Professor Christian, wherever you're at in this world. It's been a long time. But I'll never forget you said this. You said, people should forgive others because if you can't forgive another person, then why should God forgive you? And that made all the sense in the world to me. Now, I didn't immediately jump on it or anything like that, And let me make it clear. I'm not like a person who has easily forgiven or even at a stage. I'm just getting here where I can easily forgive. It takes time. It comes with realizations and things of that nature and just knowledge and just humbling yourself and understanding that life is hard. Life cannot always, but life can be hard. It can be hard to learn. It can be hard to grow. It can be hard to understand. It can be hard to get along with yourself, much less other people. And we are given chance after chance to make mistakes. We are all entitled to our mistakes. And when we understand that, it makes it easier for us to forgive other people. For me now, still being at the beginning stages, unforgiveness is like, I'm going to compare it to vengefulness. Because let's keep it real. A lot of times, unforgiveness leads to vengefulness, something that I don't partake in. I know some people who do. I'm going to tell you a story, right? There was a person who was seeking revenge on me for years, and I had no idea. I'm talking about over 10 years. It wasn't exposed until like 10 years later, right? I did a service for this person, and their end of the bargain didn't turn out how it was supposed to turn out, I showed my disdain for it because it reflected on my character. So I didn't like it. And years later, this person, something happened, and I can't even remember what happened. That's how petty and silly it was to me. And they was like, well, that's how I felt that day. You did X, Y, and Z. And I stopped and I thought to myself, I was baffled and like, huh? Because this is a person that I have a certain level of respect for. And to see them call themselves getting revenge on me because of this lack of forgiveness just made them look foolish to me. It didn't make me feel like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, or wow, they got me. It made me look at them as a foolish person. And this is a person I looked at in a high light. Because for one, it didn't change how I feel. It didn't change my thoughts about the situation. And I still didn't feel like I was wrong. And I still didn't care. Now all I see you as is a mentally undeveloped person. I hope y'all getting my drift. It's the same way with a lack of forgiveness. The person that you're not forgiving, they probably could care less. Like I cared less that this person thought they was getting revenge. It meant nothing to me. Only that they were a fool, a foolish person sitting in their folly. When you feel that hatred, that sadness, that depression, and you carrying on for a whole bunch of years about how you're going to get this person back and you're going to set them straight because you cannot forgive, what if that person don't even care? What if you're in a relationship, an abusive relationship, right? Well, somebody tell you something like you're never going to make it. And you live your whole life striving. I'm going to get a better relationship. I'm going to get a better job. I'm going to get a better home. I'm just going to be better. And I'm just going to come through and I'm going to stunt. And you step through. And that person just so happened to be a person like myself. And you finally made it. You come to that person and you talk to them. Oh, this is going on in my life now. And that's going on in my life now. And I've got more money now. I hit the gym. I'm looking a little bit better now. I'm married now. My wife is a lawyer. And, carrying on. And the person does not care at all. You spent all of that energy and time to get revenge on somebody because you could not forgive them. And they don't even care. You probably wasn't even on your path. You probably supposed to be on a whole nother path and stopped your path to do X, Y, and Z to avenge yourself for somebody who don't even care. Me personally, if you're an ex of mine or any friend of mine or anybody who got any ill will towards me, you're wasting your time. Because one thing about me is I understand that when I part ways with someone, be it a relationship, friendship, familyship, whatever it is, I expect your life to go on. I expect you to get married or not. I expect you to have children or not. I expect you to have not just one or two other relationships after me, probably several. Life goes on. I expect this already. So you're not springing nothing on me. I expect that we are growing and developing, and I would think that you're doing and better in life now. I would hope so. And I guess that works on people depending on what frequency and what level they on. But some people, we don't give a damn. We got a mission to do. We got a God to serve. We don't care about that. We care about learning and growing. And the only thing we're going to do is feel sorry for you. You're going to look foolish to us. You know? Let me get my little book over here because I like to write my notes down because I don't like to miss out on anything. If there's anything like I want to say. Yeah, there's another thing that I would like to say when it comes to forgiveness. You forgive because back to humility. You gain knowledge, you gain wisdom, you gain understanding. We know that for everything that we could say about somebody else, every bit of anger that we can have for somebody else can have that for us. We messed up too. We pissed somebody else off too. We made a mistake too. Whether we thought it was deliberate or unintentionally, it was a mistake. And why I say it was a mistake, whether you think you did it intentionally, is because if you know better, you do better. When you know better, you don't want to intentionally harm anybody, because why would you even want that on your reputation? Why would you want that holding you back on a mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual level? That's why I say if people really knew better, they would do better. Yeah, you planned it out. Yeah, they said they was going to do it. Yeah, they spoke it into existence. And yeah, it happened. But if they knew better, they would do better. I don't want ugly things on my reputation. Not for myself, not for nobody. This life is about mastering ourselves. And with that being said, anybody who has ever harmed me, I forgive you. Because you know not what you do. Those words never hit me more stronger in my life than they hit me just now when I said them. I forgive you because you know not what you do. You know? Life is a humbling experience. For everything you could point out as somebody else, there is something about yourself that you need to fix. For every time you could open your mouth and want forgiveness from somebody else, there is somebody that probably wants some forgiveness to you, and you probably owe it to them or not, but you know. So that's what I wanted to say. This morning I want to talk about forgiveness. Forgive people, not just for yourself, forgive people for the sake of humanity. Forgive people for the sake of allowing them the space to grow. Forgive people because they don't know any better. Forgive them. I'm going to leave this right here. God bless. Matter of fact, I'm not going to leave it right here because y'all know I got the good book, and I always ask the Most High if there's a message that he would like for me to convey. So I'm going to end this with a little bit of prayer or a little bit of word from Psalms. This is 103. I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, "For as the heaven is high above the earth, so great is the mercy towards them that fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far hath he removed our transgressions from us. Like as a father pitieth his children, so the Lord pitieth them that fear him. For he knoweth our frame. He remembered that we are dust. As for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field. So he be flourished. For the wind passeth over it, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more. But the mercy of the Lord is from the everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto children's children." And that's another reason, and I made a video on this before, why I don't sit around seeking revenge on people. The person that harms me today, I don't know if that person feed the homeless every day. I don't know if that person prays over people every day. They just don't like me and have a problem with me. So I don't know the exactness of revenge or retaliation to get on these people. I allow the Most High revenge to be my justice. I will end it there. End it with this prayer. Let us forgive. Amen.